You attain the whole cosmos. Basically, the analogy is this. The whole cosmos is like a child. If you really want to know what the universe's personality is like, it's very childlike. If you become motherly, this whole universe is just going to come and sit in your lap, just like that. But if you're rude, and if you're rigid, and if you're going to lash out, what child wants to come to you? Tell me one child that wants to sit in your lap if you're rigid, rude, you lash out, you say no all the time. What child is going to come to you? But if you're not rigid, you're soft, compassionate, calm, the whole universe, which is a child, comes and sits in your lap. It wants to be with you. So let's look at how people who have practiced brahmacharya, how have they become more feminine? And does brahmacharya energy, is it feminine? Let's look at Mahavir, who comes from arguably the most masculine pathway that you can take to God. A pure Gyan-based pathway. There is no devotion there. What does Mahavir become like at the end? I'm brushing my teeth with a twig. Oh my God, you're bleeding? I'm never going to brush my teeth again. Twig, I'm never going to break you away from your tree again. As he's walking, his loincloth gets stuck in a bush. Oh, the bush wants this more than me. I don't need it anymore. As he walks, he steps to make sure that he never steps on an insect ever again. Where is all of this compassion coming from? Is his energy now not so feminine? Look at Shankaracharya, another very masculine pathway. Whole life talked about Gyan, fought with others with the knives of intellect and logic, and beat others. What does he say at the end? Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Mudamate. That is one of his most famous poems. You know who he said this to? Someone who was learning Vyakaran. Even though he had become someone who had preached Vyakaran his whole life too. An old man was sitting by the banks of some river reading and learning Vyakaran, and Shankaracharya, Matha Marade. Why are you learning Vyakaran? You're about to die. Ram Paj, Govindanu Paj, tu ki kari janne? Is his personality not very feminine? Jesus dies on the cross. Very feminine. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the way he talks, the way he walks, very feminine. Bhakti, the whole Bhakti method. You know, Bhakti is a feminine noun. Gyan is a masculine noun. But Bhakti is a feminine noun in Sanskrit. Farid, look, he sits there and he recites, Edoi nana mat chuo per dekhan ki aas. I desire to see my lover. Hey birds, if you're going to eat me, leave the eyes, you can eat the rest. Is that not very feminine? Meera. You're going to say, Meera's already a girl. Okay, I'm going to reveal to you a very big secret about the spiritual pathway. Women, now don't think I'm saying this because I'm a woman. See, that's why I avoid saying this, because then you think, oh, she's just saying it because she's that. I'm coming from a neutral place, I promise. Women are naturally closer to God without trying. If they stay in their nature, they're already closer. But they didn't get the guidance that they needed to get to the last step. All of human existence so far, and psychologists say this, not me, this is not my theory. Psychologists say that man has a deep-rooted jealousy towards a woman because he realizes the woman is the more advanced species amongst the two of us, and he has naturally, subconsciously wanted to suppress her. Think about it. All granths, all yoga techniques and books, I'm talking about all of them. Every granth that talks about Dasam Dwar is talking about a man, because for a woman it would be the 11th gate. Okay, if we're going to talk about holes in the body, well then it should be the Gyarama Dwar for the woman, but it's never mentioned that way. All yogic techniques, all books are for the man. And what do the yogic techniques do? Think about what Patanjali is teaching. To make the man more feminine so that he can get to God. So none of these books were written for the woman. What are you going to teach her? We're the ones taking the sikha from her to become more like her. So today, even today, where people, there's feminism and all of this, feminine expression still hasn't reached what it's supposed to reach. One thing that's gone good for women is now they have the choice to express the way they want to. But even this choice is not neutral. Think about the way that the world is set up. We say that it's a man's world, but it's not men. It's this negative masculine energy that pervades, not positive. Positive masculine energy is so good. But this negative masculine energy to attack, to be on the offensive all the time, trying to outdo, trying to steal. Think about a world where the feminine energy was properly balanced. What would it look like? It would look exactly like the 5 yam that Patanjali gives to his male followers. Look what he gives. Don't have intent to hurt. Ahimsa, very feminine. Speak the truth, don't lie. Very feminine. Live in your truthfulness. Asteya, don't take from someone. Taking from someone is aggressive. Be content with what you have. Brahmacharya, very feminine. Aparigraha, don't possess. Don't try to possess. Very feminine. But we don't have a world like this, or at least balanced. In a balanced world, both men and women can make real choices for themselves. But right now, the choices that you make for yourself are not neutral. They're being influenced by an unseen dynamic going on around you. So, that's the secret. Now it's been revealed. So women, if you stay in your nature, you are already closer to God. You just have to work from there onwards. And the great thing about this new age is we're starting to see gurus and we're starting to see leaders in the spiritual realm that are not afraid to have female disciples. You're finally getting the guidance that you want. Now you have to remember to be true to your nature. Make neutral, positive choices for yourself. And for the men, you've always been taken care of. You're still taken care of. No one's giving up on you. Okay. Trust me, all the women, if they stay in their nature, if you also stay in your nature and you respect women don't have anything against men. In fact, the men that I have in my life are all really good examples. So I can't even give you an example of a man being bad, because I've only had good examples in my life. But I know sometimes men think that they're on the attack. You're not on the attack. Women care for you. Women are your mothers. We really care for you guys. We just require respect from you too, right? I'm not even talking about the men in my life. Because my life, I've been very lucky. I've had the best male role models in my life. But I've seen where men have treated their wives so poorly that you treat her even worse than you would treat your pet. It was really bad.